All right, guys, welcome to another episode of The Theory. Today we have another Oregon UFO sighting, and this one's actually pretty major and was actually a part of Dr. J. Allen Hynek's Project Blue Book, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with the series on TV. If not, there's a wahoo of information about it you can go search up and find out about. He was basically the first real UFO investigator for the Air Force. So pretty interesting stuff, but I'm going to tell you guys all about that. But first I want to say thank you for running up the last video. It did really great. It was a really interesting clip. I caught a lot of fun comments in the Lane County groups and stuff like that, but it was here locally, so I had to share it with you guys. But today, you guys are gonna trip when you see this. So first, as always, today's video is brought to you by creepytiki.com and the Graveyard Goonz. I'll put some information about them in the comments so you guys can go check them out. But we are talking about at 4:03 a.m., March 17th, 1981, in St. Helens, Oregon, Sergeant Russell Yoakum of the Oregon State Police Department was driving down Highway 30 when a bright light caught his attention, and the sounds and activity that followed were pretty crazy. So let's go ahead and check out this clip, and then I'm going to come back and tell you guys some more history on it. So Dr. J. Allen Hynek was actually interviewed later on by the Portland Chronicle, in which he says, quote, "The people who analyzed the tape for us say they have not heard any sound like that in nature, and it is certainly unexplainable," which is extremely interesting. So it's basically a huge puzzle to him. At the time, Dr. J. Allen Hynek was the director for the Center of UFO Studies in Chicago and had already worked on things like Project Grudge as well as the world-famous Project Blue Book. So he's really the lead guy in UFOs at the time. So it's a complete mystery to everyone involved. All right, guys, so make sure you let me know what you think about this in the comments. As I've said before, Oregon is a hot spot. I've seen some things out here. Family members have seen some things out here, as well as hundreds of thousands of witnesses have seen UFOs in Oregon and the Pacific Northwest in general and the entire country. But the Pacific Northwest, including Oregon, is one of the major hotspots. So you can check out the MUFON website for Oregon, and you can actually go through and read a lot of these UFO sightings and historical sightings and things like that. I believe they have a magazine you can subscribe to and get a list of these things, but daily. I mean, honestly, daily, you can go on there and find reports. And while a lot of them are easily explained, a lot of them can be easily explained, especially if there's video evidence or photographic evidence. But there is that far and few in between that are completely unexplainable, and this goes down as one of them. As police, their job is to observe and report. They're literally, that's what they do. They report things all day long. So it's pretty interesting that they seen this, especially back in the 80s, like I said before, drones and everything like that. I find it very interesting that they were not able to identify this. It wasn't a helicopter of any sort. It's back in the 80s, so it's not some LED kite or something like this. And the noise was so loud that it could be heard that loud on the recording from the ground. So it's just one of the most interesting things I ever read about. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, like and subscribe, drop a comment, let us know what you think, and we're going to keep these Oregon UFO-themed sightings coming out on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in.